It's Celeste here, and welcome to A Crafter's Story. I'm working on my stash, and I decided that for 2023 I wanted to make a stash of goodies that I put into my journals, because usually I make the journal and then I make the inserts, and I want to flip the script a little bit. So I've started off just with making some artists' trading cards, and I'm not a painter, you guys, not even by the furthest stretch of the imagination. I'm not. I can draw, I can sketch, I can doodle, I can craft, but I can't paint. So all I do is put some watercolors down. I would love to be able to watercolor, and I'm working on it, but we'll see how that goes. Anyhow, I've been putting some watercolor down and then just doodling on the watercolor, and it's on watercolor paper, and just putting a little word at the bottom at times, and then flipping it over, put it some coffee stained, or this is actually Kool-Aid. I used some Kool-Aid to stain the back of this paper, put that on the back with some lines, and I'm making a whole bunch of these journaling cards. So those are my first three. This morning I started with a new batch. I've got one more left from my previous batch that I haven't doodled on yet, but I'm going to get to that. And I thought, well, I've got three done. Let me do the fourth one with you. You can just see how, and it's just watercolor paints and some alcohol inks and some whatever you actually have. Markers could be fine, whatever you have on hand. So this last one, I don't really know what colors, and it doesn't really matter, but I think I've got a lot of blue and purple and green. So what if we did a little extra of the yellow? I'm just going to, oh, there's a little green. You guys, I use a lot of wet wipes to clean off my brushes and to pick up ink or paints that I mess. And I use I'd save them. Save your baby wipes if that's what you use to clean your craft surfaces. And I'll link a video that I did about how I've used my baby wipes to make, oh, I didn't want that one. To make craft paper. So I will link that in the description. And because you can just use tea bags and baby wipes to make really gorgeous paper, believe it or not. And because there's already color on your baby wipe from using it to clean up, you have this sort of rainbow of colors on the wipe that comes through on the tea bags that you use. And it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Just really gorgeous. So I'm just not really thinking about what I'm putting down or why. I'm just going with color. And then when I doodle on these later, the color that's underneath just seeps through, and it's really just, put a little too much water, I think. Anybody who watercolors, who actually is a watercolorist might be cringing right now, because they're probably going, Celeste, what are you doing? Too much water and everything's going to blend together. And I know, I'm sorry. I'm just not very good at this stuff, but it's just a fun to put a little color down. And once it's dry, this will probably take forever to dry because of how much water I've put down. But once it dries, it's just a nice kaleidoscope of color for you to then work with. I think there's only 3 colors here. Maybe we should add a fourth color. What should we do? Purple. Maybe a little purple. Why not? Little purple just there. There's plenty of water. So I think that's probably enough. I've used up all the white space and I need to stop because I do this. I keep going and keep going, and then my colors start to blend together and get a little murky. So that's not good. So I've got some of the some metallic alcohol ink, and I found that they actually look quite nice under the doodles. Open you. So I'm just going to plop a little there. Plop a little there. Oh, look at that. Yeah, why? Let's do a plop there and probably stop there. Okay, I'm going to do some more plops. Maybe this time I'll plop a little bit of, it's my technical term, guys, plop. Plopping color. Okay, gold. Let's put on some gold. I have a little gold in that top one. Come on, open. Open sesame. Ah, there you go. All right, where should we pop this? Little gold. Oh, look how that ran. Oh, that squirted. Oh dear. All right, I should probably just leave it there, and says me as I put 2 more drops down and let this dry. So I'm going to go away just for a few minutes, get my heat gun out and get this guy to dry. Maybe even pull up some of this excess water because I think it's a little much, and then we can start doodling. Let's see if I can just grab some of that water and see all this gorgeous color that we're going to be able to use on some baby white paper later. Or I'll show, well, I won't be doing any of it later, probably on another day, but I will link that video and you'll be able to see how I do use it. Okay, I'll leave it there. I'll come back once it's dry. See you in a little bit. Hi, I'm back. So I've cut out, they're dry now, and I've cut out this one because I really like it. I had a quick go at this one. I think I'm not sure about it, so I'm going to put it one side and come back to it. That's okay. But this guy has a lot of color in it, and I just think it's going to look gorgeous. So let's try this one out. So let's see, what should we do? Maybe just something not terribly complicated, because I think there's so much color on here that it could, sort of felt something wet there for a second. It's like, no. I don't want to do anything too complicated on this one because I think it's got so much beautiful color, and that is going to be the feature or the winning ticket for this one. So let's see, maybe put in a couple of leaves, a few flowers, a couple of twirly whirlies, and do that. So I try to not think very hard when I'm doodling, just because I feel like it should be almost like meditation. You know, you should just be able to just put some lines down and don't worry about where they are, what they look like right in that moment. Just put down the lines, and you can always come back and add to it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to keep it. But I try as much as I can to avoid not throwing things out, because oftentimes I come back with a new eye, a new perspective, and I see something a little differently to what to before, and then I'm glad that I didn't throw it out. Okay, so I'm noticing here that where I put down that glitter alcohol ink, the Sharpie's not really taking very well in those areas. So definitely something to think about. maybe I can come back. Oh, it's allowing me to come back. Okay, that's good to know. Maybe it just isn't completely dry yet, and I might have to come back a little later and put a little extra color down, a little extra pen. Yeah, I think this one's going to look really nice without, what else should we put in here? Let's go that and put in a little bubble. Yeah, here's more of that glitter. Ooh, I think it doesn't dry as quickly as the watercolor does. So I'll definitely have to keep that in mind for next time. All right, so maybe that's, put that black down. Let's come in with a little bit of the white Posca pen. See if I can accentuate this a little. Like that. Oh, it's so looking so good. I really love this. It's very relaxing. And I could sit here and do this all day, but I can't because I've got other things that I've got to do. But if you give me half a chance, I would be here for hours. Because it's just so relaxing, you know, and I don't have to think about anything else. I just have to think about where I'm putting down some, well, not even think about where I'm putting down any color or any line. I can just let my mind wander. It does that anyway. On its own. It needs no encouragement. I promise you. You ask anyone who knows me and they'll go, oh, Celeste, you mean the scatterbrain? It's my creative brain. I call it my creative brain. Creative people always have their head somewhere in a project. So I use it as my excuse for when I forget something. Ugh, I forget stuff all the time. I drive my family crazy. Let's see, maybe we put in a couple of these. Oh, the uni ball works fine, so that's good to know. Let's see, we'll put in a couple of these little lines here. Maybe a couple of dashes down in the top here. What if we put in a couple of big circle, slightly smaller one, just like that. Oh, I'm liking this so much. It's really turning out nicely. I had no design in my head prior to starting this project, which is typical of me. I don't really plan too much. But I think, you know, some people prefer to have a little bit of an idea of what their design is going to look like. I don't do it, not because I don't think it's a good thing. It's just that I don't. I have no reason. I just don't. So, but there's nothing wrong with, you know, maybe having a preconceived idea of what you want your design to look like, maybe, and then coming in and trying to copy it. I've tried that a few times, and every time I've tried what I thought my project was going to look like, just never turns out that way. But let's see, let's bring in this gold glitter, because there is some blue, sorry, gold glitter. Now don't know my blue from my gold. Just this blue glitter pen, because I think it's got to be a little careful because it's a little on the thicker side. Let's just do that. I'm running out of space a little, so maybe I should probably stop at some point here, hey? All right, let me stop there. Says me as I head for another space. I'm so predictable. All right, there. I think what I'd like to do is just go over the blue. I feel like it's a little sharp, and I'll just give it a little, almost like a 3D effect by putting the white on top. Come on, pen, don't fail me now. Don't fail me now, please. Go up. There we go. I think our little card is finished, you guys. Oh, I keep putting my hand in that light. Go away, you. Okay, what do you think? I think so. I think it turned out nicely. I mean, obviously you could come back and just keep adding to it if you feel like it later on. It's totally up to you. And if you're like me, you just don't know when to stop, then you probably would. And that is fine. No reason why you can't keep coming back and just keep adding. Okay, I think to me this looks a little bit dreamy, so we should probably put in a little word that says dreamy. Okay, let me age it up a little bit to give it a frame. There we go. Little frame, not much, just a lick of color. Color. Okay, put this down. Where should we put you? How about there? Yeah. Oh, it moved. No, move back. No, move back. Back. There you go. All right, that's great. I love that. I actually think it turned out quite nicely. What I am going to do though is I'm going to put just a little bit of a border by putting a little ink over the edges, because I think the edges are a little too bland, and you can see the white cut lines from when I cut it off the main page. And I don't like that. I like just to have this sort of finishing touch on the edges. Just gives it a bit of a frame. Well, there you go, you guys. Another little journaling card done. Little artist's trading card done. And I can now add it to the stash of my other little cards that I've already done. And I'll spend some time today probably going and working on the other 3 that you saw, or 4 actually. I've got those 2 to do. This one's a little smaller because when I cut it, the page tore, so I had to cut it a bit smaller. And then this one that I started earlier that I'm going to work on a little later. But for now, we've got 4 completed stash cards, and I am very thankful, and happiness gives us strength, where our creativity can bloom and we can dream about the next project. Hey, I'm good, hey? Just thought that up all by myself. Thank you so much for visiting with me. I really appreciate your time, and I always have fun with you. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.